G'day viewers and welcome back to another awesome episode of Blokes World. Once again, myself and Camera 83, we've found ourselves back in Japan and we've come back here to film a series of the cars of Japan. And you might have seen last week's episode, we went to Fukuyama, to the Auto and Clock Museum. That was a great day out, wasn't it?
Beautiful, yep.
Unreal. Then we drove to Hiroshima, we went to the baseball. That was an amazing night out seeing the Hiroshima Cubs play. They beat the Yakult Swallows.
3-2.
3-2, awesome day. And then we drove down to Shikoku to see the Shikoku Auto Museum, a private museum with some absolutely beautiful cars. And on this episode, we've made our way up to Kobe and we're here for the Kawasaki Good Times Museum. Let's head on inside. I'm expecting a couple of really cool looking motorbikes and learning heaps more about the brand of Kawasaki. You ready for this?
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, awesome,
Okay.
Let's do it.
Okay.
One thing I do know about Kawasaki, motorcycles aren't their main game. I know they've made the Shinkansen, but earlier this year they launched a product called the Kawasaki Corleo, which is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. A hydrogen-powered robot horse that they say is going to replace dirt bikes. Check this out.
Kawasaki Heavy Industries has pulled the covers off perhaps the most outrageous concept vehicle we've ever seen. The Corleo is a two-seater quadruped robot you steer with your body, capable of picking its way through rough terrain thanks to AI vision.
Yep, the Kawasaki Corleo is a real thing, but I should stress that it's only a concept. All this footage that we're seeing right now, it's all AI generated. At the moment, this thing can stand up and sit and do a couple of things, but they're planning to have this thing forest ready by 2050. And now it's time for some actual reality. And as soon as you walk into the Kawasaki Good Times Museum, you'll come up to their timeline. And I was completely blown away by the things that they've made. Let's start in the 1900s. In 1906, Kawasaki built Japan's first submarine. And then in 1915, they built Japan's first battle cruiser, the Haruna. And in 1923, Japan's first ever steam-powered locomotive. And in 1941, they built the Zuikaku, their first aircraft carrier. In 1961, their first branded motorcycle. And you'll still see heaps of these Kawasaki Pet M5s around. They absolutely love them over here. In 1964, they built the first Shinkansen. If you've ever been to Japan, this is the bullet train. In 1976, they worked with Boeing with the development of the 767. And then in 1979, they built the BK-117 helicopter. And in 1972, they built the Kawasaki 900 Super 4 Z1, a bike that really changed it for all motorcycle building across the world. With its four-cylinder, air-cooled, double overhead camshaft, this bike was a game changer and is still loved by motorcycling enthusiasts to this day. Then in 1984, the launch of a motorcycle which they would continue to make until 2003, the Kawasaki Ninja. But first up, they made this one, the GPSZ 900R. Look at it, what a weapon. This thing could do 243 kilometers an hour. But they were getting top speeds on the water as well, because in 1989, they built the first jet foil. And this thing is still running to this day. It pings around the bay of Kagoshima, and it's still got the same paint job. And then in 1989, a massive selling bike for Kawasaki, the 400cc Zephyr. This thing was so popular all across Europe and the UK, a massive seller in the 90s. It's right about now I noticed I hadn't seen Camera 83 for a bit until I looked over and he was in plane and train heaven. And he was just as surprised that I was that in 1988, Kawasaki made the T4, the jet trainer, which is still used to this very day to train jet pilots. Well, after checking out the Kawasaki timeline, we decided to head into the motorcycle room. And I tell you what, viewers, if you're coming here expecting to see thousands and thousands of motorcycles, you're going to be disappointed. I think there's only about 10 or 11 motorcycles in the museum, but they did have the 2014 Ranger-driven Ryan Villapoto's Supercross winning bike. Look at it. That's art. Dad, how awesome was that, eh?
Brilliant.
I learned so much. What a great museum. Do yourself a favour, in Kobe, come and check out the Good Times Museum, the Kawasaki Museum. It is amazing. Anyway, right now we're going to commercial break, but before we do, let's head up to Rockhampton to the Rocky Nats for this week's Burnout. And when we come back, we're going to be in the town of Toyota. We'll see you soon.